Most people think manipulation screams yelling, lying, chaos. But the most dangerous control hides in calm eyes, measured tones, and subtle nudges. Every pause, every carefully chosen word reshapes your perception. You feel normal, rational, but your reactions are no longer yours until you realize the threads have already been pulled invisibly. Stop. Breathe. What if the strings were never visible because they weren't meant to be? These are 10 hidden manipulation tactics. Subtle, quiet, yet powerful. They don't attack your body. They invade your mind. Today you'll see how control whispers, not shouts, and why awareness is the first line of defense. Redirection is their silent weapon. They never argue outright. Instead, they guide the conversation, bending it until you drift from your own focus. You think you choose the topic, but the current has already carried you. A pause, a sigh, even a faint smirk can nudge you toward their narrative without your noticing. You ask, "Why didn't you tell me?" They respond, "Why are you always so suspicious?" Suddenly, your attention shifts. You're explaining yourself, defending your attitude instead of discussing the fact. They never raised their voice, but the stage belongs to them. You move unaware on their invisible strings. Some show vulnerability, but it's never accidental. A quiver in their voice, a single tear, a story about a painful past timed perfectly. You lean in, empathy widening, your guard lowering. That pain isn't an invitation, it's a lever. Each word is a thread pulling you closer until you're responding to guilt, not truth. You might think they're hurting. I should be gentle, but gentle is exactly what they wanted. That small confession, that careful display of emotion has brought them influence. Stop. Notice how quickly compassion can become leverage when orchestrated with subtle precision, and how easily you can be guided by your own empathy. They start with extremes, unreasonable demands, unfair accusations, audacious requests. Your instinct rejects them. That's step one. Then they soften, presenting a reasonable alternative. Relief floods your mind, but the relief blinds you, masking the fact that the softer request was their goal all along. You nod, exhausted, thinking you've negotiated peace. In reality, you've walked straight into their plan. Every compromise is an illusion, every sigh of relief a step deeper into the narrative they built. You didn't win. You simply accepted what was intended for you because it felt tolerable compared to chaos. You say, "I need space." They reply, "So you're abandoning me?" Words twist like threads, weaving guilt and confusion. You try to clarify, over-explain, untangle the false meaning. The more you speak, the more control they wield. Every misread phrase is a silent trap designed to pull you off balance. You scramble to justify yourself, feeling trapped by your own words. Stop, breathe, understand. Not every misunderstanding is accidental. Some are carefully orchestrated to keep you off-center, second-guessing your thoughts, and answering to their invisible rules rather than your own clarity. Hear a phrase enough times, and your mind starts accepting it as truth. Manipulators know this. You're too sensitive. You always overreact. At first you resist, but repetition erodes resistance slowly. Each iteration is a gentle hammer, quietly reshaping belief until doubt feels safer than conviction. It's not mind control, it's corrosion. Every repetition scrapes away certainty, every echo pushing you closer to compliance. You stop defending yourself not because you were wrong, but because defending feels heavier than surrender. Notice the subtle power in words repeated over time, and the silence in between that amplifies them. They summon invisible allies. Even your friends say you're overreacting. Everyone agrees. You feel surrounded, pressured. The crowd may not exist in reality, but its effect is real. Suddenly you question yourself, striving to align with opinions that may never have been voiced, isolated in your own perception. This is social manipulation at its quietest. The goal isn't discussion, it's conformity. Stop. Breathe. Remember, one truthful perspective outweighs hundreds of imagined ones. Awareness of the tactic dissolves the pressure, stripping the illusion of consensus away. They don't argue when tension rises, they disappear. Not physically, emotionally. No warmth, no glance, no acknowledgement. Silence becomes a weapon, forcing you into reflection and self-blame. You begin apologizing not for what you did, but for the void their absence created. You start questioning every action, every word, overanalyzing yourself to fill the emptiness. That's emotional starvation. Stop. Notice the subtle cruelty of being punished by absence rather than confrontation, and how your mind races to repair what isn't yours to fix. They're kind when you comply, cold when you resist. Affection is not given freely, it is conditional. You learn to chase approval, measuring actions for reward. Love feels like a contract, smiles like permission, and peace like an earned truce rather than a natural state. The pattern is deliberate. Every compliant gesture earns warmth. Every refusal triggers withdrawal. Stop. Breathe. Ask yourself, when did comfort start to feel like a performance? Conditional kindness is control hidden as care, guiding behavior with invisible strings. They overwhelm you with details, half-truths, logic loops, and endless facts. The goal isn't clarity, it's exhaustion. A tired mind doesn't resist, it conforms. Every fact, every argument, every tangent is a rope tying your reasoning to their narrative. Stop. Notice how mental fatigue breeds obedience silently. You nod, agree, and rationalize just to end the noise. Awareness is calm observation, not reaction. Once you recognize the patterns, you refuse to play by their rules. Control loses its power once named. Silence and clarity become your strongest weapons, and they can't manipulate what you consciously see.